This video is made possible with special thanks to Sam Chan here in Sydney, Australia. He's the author of a new book called Evangelism in a Skeptical World. I'll tell you more about Sam and his book in just a minute. Welcome to Epic Vlog number 3. If you haven't seen the first two, why don't you look down in the description and you can easily catch up. I'm here in beautiful New Zealand. We've just come over from Australia. We're here in these great nations to research the history of Christianity. When and how did the gospel first reach these shores? That's what we're exploring. Come along with us and we'll find out. This is it.
This is what you come for.
This is what I've come for, so exactly. It's a long journey to see a book, but yeah.
This is the Bible that belonged to Richard Johnson, one of 3 books that survived the First Fleet, I'm told. This is the most important one. As I said before, it's probably the only Bible that's present at the founding of a nation that you can still hold in your hands today and say, here it is.
Right.
So there's real significance there. You've got the signatures again of Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mum, Queen Elizabeth's father, Bertie, or Albert, King George VI, his brother Edward VIII, Charles, Di, Andrew, Sarah, and then William and Kate.
Right. I tell people, when you become a Christian, that history is now your history. If you're adopted into a family, the family history it's your history now. And the same is true as a Christian. So you owe it to yourself, you owe it to the church to know that history and to become responsible for it. So that's my deep hope, is that people will come to understand what really is their history. The library here at Moore College in Sydney houses a number of treasures, and certainly not the least of them is a 1611 authorized version of the Bible. That is King James. And this is one of the first print run because it has a he rather than a she in that verse in Ruth, where that's the distinguisher between a first and a second edition, whether it's marked as he or she in that verse. This is one of the originals, a true treasure, one of just a couple of hundred left in the entire world from that very first print run all those years ago. Since 1807, the Reverend Samuel Marsden had been planning to found a mission work here in New Zealand. Then there have been many, many delays. Finally, December 22nd, 1814, he and his party landed here and immediately founded a settlement just up above the bay. For many countries, we really don't know when the gospel was first preached in those lands. For New Zealand, we know exactly. December 25th, 1814, Samuel Marsden gathered here a group of settlers, a group of missionaries. Many Maori, natives of the land, showed up as well, and he preached before them the gospel of Jesus Christ. This marker behind me memorializes the place and the occasion when the gospel first came to the shores of New Zealand. This is the Elms. It's a historic site, formerly known as Te Papa Mission Station. And it was founded by Alfred Brown. He labored here for many years. And I guess he's most known for the fact that he built his library before he built his house. He's got this wonderful little library, they like to call it his man cave, where he's got quite a collection of books that he brought with him, largely brought with him from England when he immigrated here. And it was just wonderful to go through his collection, to see what he had, to see how much he owed to the Puritans especially. He had most of the books you'd expect someone to have from that era as a pastor, as a missionary. We've got the works of Richard Sibbes here. We've got Charles Simeon, good book to bring to help with sermons. More of Sibbes down here. Lots of Bibles. Oh, Wesley's hymns in pocket form as well. Sinners turn, why will ye die? God your maker asks you why. God who did your being give, made you with himself to live. He the fatal cause demands, asks the work of his own hands. Why, ye thankless creatures, why wilt ye cross his love and die? Missionaries were trained not only to preach the word of God, but also to do some basic medicine. So this is the medicine chest he would take with him as he traveled from place to place. You can see them marked as calomel. This one's marked as white precipitate, and that says very clearly poison on it. This became a very dangerous place to live. At some point, he ended up digging a hole here and installing a trap door. And the trap door then led to an escape route out the front of the house. So he was so concerned about his safety, he actually created this little escape tunnel. There's someone here in Sydney I'd like you to meet. His name is Sam Chan, but before I tell you about him, let's hear what D.A. Carson has to say about him. Sam can talk knowledgeably about skepticism, but he's driven by the gospel. He loves people and is himself engaged in both personal evangelism and public evangelism. Sam, why don't you tell us what you've been working on?
All right. Well, I just had a friend ask me, what do Christians believe happens to them when they die?
Yeah.
And I said, well, traditionally we believe our souls go to be with Jesus in heaven. And one day when Jesus comes again in the future, our bodies rise from its grave and gets reunited with our souls. Yeah. And as I said that, I suddenly realised, boy, that is so foreign and unbelievable to anyone today, especially in our post-Christian, post-church, post-reached world. And that just means our gospel is also foreign and unbelievable. And so even though the gospel is true for all peoples, all times, all places, maybe it's time that we come up with new, creative, fresh ways of communicating this gospel to today's audience.
All right. Sounds good. It's an important new book. It's called Evangelism in a Skeptical World. I've put a link below the video. You can also go to Amazon and search for it there.